So you're thinking of relocating to Fort Worth, Texas, and hoping to buy your first home, but you really don't have a clue what is involved in the home buying process, and you honestly don't even know what all the steps are to becoming a first-time home buyer or if you would even qualify for a home. Then let me walk you through that process. Right now we're walking on one of the trails here in Benbrook. If you've seen my Benbrook video, you can check that out. This is the beginning of the Trinity Trails, and it's a great place to go biking or walking, skateboarding. So I thought this would be a great place on a beautiful day for us to talk about first-time home buyers. In this video, I'll share with you the 15 steps involved in buying your first home, and it's likely much easier than you may think. So let's get started. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything about living in Fort Worth, Texas, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Fort Worth. My name is Wendy Mema with Relocating to Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm a local realtor. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you hoping to make their move to Fort Worth, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 6 days, 60 days, or 6 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All that contact information is down below in the description, so we can help you make a smooth move to Fort Worth. So let's go ahead and get started on what are the steps to becoming a first-time home buyer. Step 1 is to get a pre-approval letter. This is a crucial step to help you set your budget. You might be surprised to learn that you don't have to have a huge salary, a perfect credit score, or even 20% down in order to buy a house. You'll need to contact a banker or mortgage lender who is licensed to operate in Texas for this step. If you don't know who to contact, I can give you a list of several lenders that we use in our office. You can contact them and find a lender who is able to offer you the best lending terms. Most lenders have access to special first-time homebuyer programs, so be sure to ask them about that. You will need to provide your lender with some details of your financial situation so they can help you get the best interest rate and the minimum down payment if that's something you're needing or wanting. As long as you have all your financial information handy, you can usually get pre-approved in as little as 30 minutes. Also to note is that you can contact as many lenders as you want in a 30-day period, and it's just treated as one credit inquiry, so that's a great thing to know. Step 2 is to pick your realtor. You're going to want to pick a knowledgeable realtor who you see yourself being able to work well with. I must admit, I would love if that could be me. I will help you find the perfect house and will always be looking out for your very best interest. I'll handle all the details of writing contracts, submitting offers, negotiating back and forth between the seller's agent, always looking out for your interest above all else. You'd be surprised about the crazy things that can threaten to break up a deal. That's why you need to have a trusted realtor on your side to keep everything on track and to calm situations down when emotions might get too high. Another great thing in Texas is that usually the commission for your realtor when you're buying is paid for by the seller. That can vary, but it's often the case that the seller pays both the commission for their listing agent realtor and the commission for the buyer's realtor. Step 3 is you're going to need to discuss your needs and wants and time frames with me. Discuss what you're looking for in a home, such as the number of bedrooms or bathrooms you want, the amount of square footage, whether you want a pool or not, the amount of acreage you want to have, what type of neighborhood, whether you want that to be a master plan community that has a lot of amenities, or you just want an older neighborhood where people just kind of keep more to themselves but maybe have occasional community events, whether you want an HOA or not. All those kind of things play into what kind of house you're going to want. and I can help you find that house. Once you've discussed all those things with me, then I'm going to set up what I call a home search portal, where these search results that match what you're looking for are emailed directly to you, and then you can kind of come up with a list of what houses you'd like to see. After you come up with your list of houses you want to see, then that leads us to step 4, which is go house hunting. This is the fun part. This is where you get to go and check out houses, kind of formalize in your mind more what it is you're really looking for. After we see several houses, you may need to make some adjustments to your home search portal so you can kind of narrow in on what you want. So just let me know that and I'll make those adjustments for you. All right, step 5, you're going to pick a home to make an offer on. You will go through, weigh the pros and the cons of the different houses that you've seen and decide which one's your dream house. Once you know that, let me know and I'll help you make the offer. Okay, step 6 is making the offer based on comps. So let's pause a minute. What are comps? Comp stands for comparative market analysis. It might sometimes be called CMA, but either way, it's your realtor looking at properties that have sold in that area that are comparable to the house you're looking at, so you can see how much they sold for, so you can make sure that you're paying the right price for the home that you're interested in. So I'll send you a comp based on the house you're looking for, and you will decide based on that how much you want to offer and what some of the other terms will be. I can help you talk through what those terms are, such as how long your option period would be, who's going to pay for the owner's title policy, those kind of things. So one thing you want to do when you're deciding to make an offer is make sure you don't drag your feet. Things can still move quickly sometimes, and so it's important when you know you want to try to buy a house that you correspond with your realtor quickly and that you make your decisions quickly. So I'll draw up the offer with all of your terms and supporting documents. I'll send those over usually by a DocuSign for you to sign, and I will present that offer to the listing agent, which is the realtor who represents the seller. There'll be some back and forth negotiations and maybe even some re-signing of all the offer and various documents. All right, step 7 is very exciting. It's when you have a successful contract. So congratulations. This is an exciting point in the process, but it's also a point where you need to kind of get busy with a few things. So let's talk about what those things would be. Which leads us to step 8, which is the delivery within 72 hours of your option and earnest money to the title company. Even if you're out of state, it's not a problem. This is usually handled through a secure app. Your earnest money is usually 1% of the sales price of the property, and your option money is between $100 and $250. The earnest money tells the sellers that you're serious. That earnest money is held at the title company, and assuming everything goes through correctly, then that money will be credited to your account as money that you've already paid towards the house. The option money is money you give to the seller so that they take the house off of the market, and you'll be doing your inspection and things like that, so we'll talk about that in just a minute. The first day that you have a signed contract and it's executed, meaning both parties have signed, then that's considered day 0 of the contract, and you have by the end of business on day 3 to get that earnest and option money to the title company. All right, and just wanted to interject a second and have you notice that as I'm walking in this little forest, that I'm walking along Pecan Valley golf course, which I featured in my Benbrook Full Tour vlog, so you can notice that as well. If you haven't watched that, then go over and watch that. Alright, so we're on to step 9. This is when you're going to arrange for an inspector to come inspect the house during your option period. You choose the inspector. I can recommend several that we use in our office, but you will be the one that pays for the inspection and who gets the inspection report. And the inspector, he'll do his inspection and he'll usually call you to come during the last hour or so of the inspection. He'll kind of give you a top level overlook of what he found during the inspection, but he'll also send you a full report, and you'll get that report. You'll need to take time to thoroughly read the report. If you have any questions, you'll need to ask the inspector for clarification on anything that you don't fully understand. The report will provide you with information that will help you make an informed decision to understand what repairs need to be made. Sometimes you may need to do some specific, more specialized inspections after the general inspection. Maybe you need to have a roofer come out, or have the AC looked at more, or the electrical system. So sometimes those are free. Roofers will give free inspections, or it might be $50 or $100 for this kind of service call or inspection. Now keep in mind that your option period ends precisely at 5 p.m. on the last day of your option, whether your option's 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. You'll need to make sure that we have all these and any repairs negotiated by then. So that leads us into step 10, which is negotiating repairs during the option period. In the inspection report, you're going to want to pay particular attention to areas that relate to health and safety, or major structural or mechanical systems of the house that might be costly to repair. Cosmetic repairs generally are not negotiable, except wood rot being the exception to that. Now, the seller always has a couple different options into how they're going to handle your repair requests. One, they can make all the repairs mentioned in the report, just to let you know that never happens. They might make a few of the repairs and ignore others. That's kind of typical. Or they may provide a repairs allowance through a discount in the sales price, and then that way you've gotten some money and you can make the repairs after you move in. So that's another typical way of handling things. The fourth would be that they completely ignore all your repair requests, and that very rarely happens either. So there'll be some back and forth negotiations during this repair amendment process. We'll sign an amendment to the contract that will list what repairs you want done, and then we'll agree on that between the seller and you as the buyer, and that all has to be signed by all parties by 5 p.m. at the end of your option period. All right, so that leads us to step 11, which is finalizing your financing. During this process, you'll be providing additional financial documents to your lender, verifying your employment, etc. This is a time when you'll be dealing with the lender. It's kind of a quiet period where you're not dealing with me as the realtor as much, but it's still a very important part of your process. There are two very important things that you do not do during this time, which is take on any additional debt. Don't get another loan, a car loan, any kind of loan, and don't quit or change your employment during this time, because this will cause a lot of problems with your lender, and it could potentially even cause you to lose the house. So this process of working with your lender to get your final buyer financing approval usually takes about 14 to 21 days is how much time you have to get that done. You're going to need to review and sign some preliminary loan documents during this time. All right, step 12 will be the appraisal process. An appraisal will be ordered by your lender to verify that the house is worth the agreed upon sales price. This is referred to as the property approval. If the appraisal comes in lower than the sales price, there'll be some negotiations back and forth with sellers on how to handle that. And I'll advise you how to handle that in that particular situation. All right, step 13 is closing. You will have the final signing of your loan and many other legal papers. But the most exciting part about this is where you will get your keys. So that is super, super fun and worth the sometimes long process. Usually the process can be from the time you have a contract agreed upon to when you close is usually around 30 days. So it just kind of depends on how long it takes you to find that perfect house. All right, so step 14 is moving in. The exciting day you've been waiting for. You are finally a homeowner living your own little piece of the American dream. And let's not forget step 15, which is take a long nap. You deserve it. So why am I sharing all this with you? Because everything is easier once you know what to expect. I have thoroughly enjoyed explaining the home buying process to you, whether this is your first time to buy a home or your 12th. I would be very honored to be your realtor and to help you find your next home in Fort Worth. Comment below on what makes you most nervous or most excited about the home buying process. Remember, whether you're moving in 6 days, 60 days, or 6 months, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All that contact information is down below in the description. And until next time, well, we hope to show you around town.